Genesis 19. It was evening when the two angels came to Sodom. Lot was sitting at Sodom's city gate. Seeing them, Lot rose up to meet them and bowed to the ground. And he said, "My Lord, turn aside, I beg of you, into your servant's house, and spend the night and bathe your feet. Then you can arise early and go on your way." But they said, "No, we will spend the night in the square." Lot entreated and urged them greatly until they yielded, and with him entered his house. And he made them a dinner with drinking, and had unleavened bread which he baked, and they ate. But before they lay down, the men of the city of Sodom, both young and old men from every quarter, surrounded the house, and they called to Lot and said, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, that we may know, be intimate with them." And Lot went out of the door to the man and shut the door after him, and said, "I beg of you, my brothers, do not behave so wickedly. Look now, I have two daughters who are virgins. I beg of you, bring them out to you, and you can do as you please with them. But only do nothing to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." But they said, "Stand back." And they said, "This fellow came in to live here temporarily, and now he presumes to be our judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them." So they rushed it and pressed violently against Lot, and came close to breaking down the door. But the angels, reached out and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut the door after him. And they struck the men who were at the door of the house with blindness which dazzled them from the youth to the old man, so that they wearied themselves groping to find the door. And the two men asked Lot, "Have you any others here, sons-in-law, or your sons, or your daughters, whomever you have in the city? Bring them out of this place, for we will spoil and destroy Sodom." For the outcry and shriek against its people has grown great before the Lord, and He has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who were to marry his daughters, and said, "Up, get out of this place, for the Lord will spoil and destroy this city." But it seemed to his sons-in-law to be only joking. When morning came, the angels urged Lot to hurry, saying, "Arise, take your wife and 2 daughters who are here, and be off, lest you too be consumed and swept away in the iniquity and punishment of the city." But while he lingered, the man seized him and his wife and his 2 daughters by the hand, for the Lord was merciful. To him, and they brought him forth and set him outside the city and left him there. And when they had brought them forth, they said, "Escape for your life. Do not look behind you or stop anywhere in the whole valley. Escape to the mountains of Moab, lest you be consumed." The valley which Lot had once so much coveted and Lot said to them, "Oh, not that, my Lord. Behold now, Your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have magnified your kindness and mercy to me in saving my life. But I cannot escape to the mountains, lest the evil overtake me and I die. See now yonder city, it is near enough to flee to, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape to it. Is it not a little one? And my life will be saved. And the angel said to him, See, I have yielded to your entreaty concerning this thing also. I will not destroy this city of which you have spoken. Make haste and take refuge there, for I cannot do anything until you arrive there. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar, Little. The sun had risen over the earth when Lot entered Zoar. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and on Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of the heavens. He overthrew, destroyed, and ended those cities, and all the valley, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on the ground. But Lot's wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Lot's wife not only looked back to where her heart's interests were, but she lingered behind and probably overtaken by the fire and brimstone. Her dead body became encrusted with salt, which in that salt-packed area, now the Dead Sea, grew larger with more incrustations, a veritable pillar of salt. In fact, at the southern end of the Dead Sea, there is a mountain of table salt called Jebel Ustam, Mount of Sodom. It is about 6 miles long, 3 miles wide, and 1,000 feet high. It is covered with a crust of earth several feet thick, but the rest of the mountain is said to be solid salt. Somewhere in this area, Lut's wife looked back to where her treasures and her heart were, and she became a pillar of salt. Jesus said, "Remember Lot's wife." Not only were Sodom and Gomorrah blazing ruins, but also Admah and Zeboim, as well as all the towns in the valley of Sittim. Zoar was the lone exception. Abraham went up early the next morning to the place where he, only the day before, had stood before the Lord. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the valley, and saw, and behold, the smoke of the country went up like the smoke of a furnace. When God ravished and destroyed the cities of the plain of Sittim, he earnestly remembered Abraham, imprinted and fixed him indelibly on his mind, and he sent Lot out of the midst of the when he overthrew the cities where Lot lived. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he lived in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. The elder said to the younger, "Our father is aging, and there is not a man on earth to live with us in the customary way. Come, let us make our father drunk with wine, and we will lie with him, so that we may preserve offspring, our race, through our father. And they made their father drunk with wine that night, and the older went in and lay with her father, and he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she arose. Then the next day the firstborn said to the younger, "See here, I lay last night with my father. Let us make him drunk with wine tonight also, and then you go in and lie with him, so that we may preserve offspring, our race, through our father." And they made their father drunk with wine again that night, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she arose. Thus both the daughters of Lot were with child by their father. The older bore a son and named him Moab, of a father. He is the father of the Moabite to this day. The younger also bore a son and named him Ben-Ammi, son of my people. He is the father of Ammonites to this day. Now Abraham journeyed from there toward the south country, the Negev, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and he lived temporarily in Gerar. South country, the Negev, primitive geographic expression, such as the South country, the Negev, and the East country, are used in the time of Abraham. After the time of Genesis, they have well-known and well-defined names. I submit that they were written down in early days, and that no writer after Moses could have used such archaic expression as these. Abraham said of Sarah his wife, "She is my sister." And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah into his harem. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said, "Behold, you are a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken as your own, for she is a man's wife." But Abimelech had not come near her. So he said, "Lord, will you slay a people who are just and innocent? Did not the man tell me she is my sister?" And she herself said, "He is my brother." In integrity of heart and innocency of hand, I have done this. Then God said to him in the dream, "Yes, I know you did this in the integrity of your heart, for it was I who kept you back and spared you from sinning against me. Therefore, I did not give you occasion to touch her. So now restore to the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you, and you will live. But if you do not restore her to him, know that you shall surely die, you and all who are yours." So Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told them all these things. And the men were exceedingly filled with reverence and fear. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us? And how have I offended you that you have brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? You have done to me what ought not to be done to anyone." And Abimelech said to Abraham, "What did you see in us that justified you in doing such a thing as this?" And Abraham said, "Because I thought, surely there is no reverence or fear of God at all in this place, and they will slay me because of my wife. But truly She's my sister. She's the daughter of my father, but not of my mother, and she became my wife. When God caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, "This kindness you can show me at every place we stop. Say of me, he is my brother." Then Abimelech took sheep and oxen and male and female slaves and gave them to Abraham and restored to him Sarah his wife. And Abimelech said, "Behold, my land is before you. Dwell wherever it pleases you." And to Sarah he said, "Behold, I have given this brother of yours 1,000 pieces of silver. See, it is to compensate you for all that has occurred, and to vindicate your honor before all who are with you. Before all men you are cleared and compensated." So Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his female slaves, and they bore children. For the Lord had closed fast the wombs of all in Abimelech's household because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. 소중한 영생님, 할렐루야. Precious dark horse, precious Josh, precious Minder business, precious TJ Lux, 소중한 등불님, 소중한 크리스마스 아일랜드님, 소중한 산골 오두막님, Precious Ilas YouTube channel, 소중한 노을님, why? I'm sorry, Josh. Thank you so much for sharing this precious moment together, and thank you for greetings and for sharing precious words. I really appreciate it. Please take good care of yourself every day. I pray for you will get well soon, Josh. Precious Becca Gill. Yes, I'm half sleeping. 오늘도 너무 소중한 시간 함께 해주셔서 정말 감사드립니다. Yeah, please take good care. Thank you. 아멘. 감사합니다. 샬롬. 하나님의 사랑과 평안과 축복이 언제나 아브라함과 함께 하신 것처럼 소중한 여러분들과도 항상 함께 계시다고 믿고요. I believe God, with whom God, who is always with Abraham, is always with precious you all. 너무 신기한 것 같아요. 이렇게 하나님이 직접 계속 얘기를 직접 하고 계신 게 so amazing that God is telling Abraham himself directly. 모두 평안하고 축복이 가득한 밤 하루 되시기를 진심으로 I pray for you to have a peaceful, blessed night and day. 감사합니다. 아멘. 할렐루야. 행복한 날 되세요. Good night. Good sleep.